uh, that everything it is based upon estimates. Like when we talk about change in method, now there are two types. One is retrospective effect and other is prospective effect. Now this prospective effect, it is in your course and it is governed by AS10. Retrospective effect, this is governed by AS6, and AS6 now it has basically cancelled off. Now we don't study AS6, it is not in the accounting standard. Okay, now the thing is, I told you everything, whenever we calculate the depreciation, it is based upon estimates. So if estimates are changed, estimates regarding the life, regarding the scrap value, regarding the pattern of consumption. Now this pattern of consumption, it gives you the type of method which you are using. Now this is nothing but, if suppose there is a particular asset and it is giving you uniform benefit, every year it is going to give you 20,000 unit production per year. So if your benefits derives are uniform, so obviously as per matching principle, the cost must be matched with the revenue generated. So if your revenues are uniform, obviously your cost should be uniform. And what is the cost of generating revenue here in the context of capital asset? It is nothing but the depreciation charge. So if your benefits are uniform, depreciation should be uniform. So we charge SLM method. Now the thing is, if your pattern changes, pattern of consumption changes, in the sense that the utility derived by you, it is going down. Initially you are getting more output, in the later years you are getting less output. So accordingly, in the initial year you have to charge higher depreciation, in the later year you have to charge less depreciation. So this is nothing but your WDV method. So the point is, when your pattern of consumption changes, we change the method. So this is also comes under the preview of prospective effect. So whenever these estimates change, we bring that change with respect to the same year. Now, how to bring about change with respect to the change year, that is the technical part, which I come to you in the next slide. Now, let's come to this, what we have done with the retrospective effect. Now, retrospective effect means right from the year when you want to incorporate the change. Although it is not in your course, but it is stated whenever your accounting policies are changing. Please, one of your mobile, your mic is on. Please switch off your mic. Okay. Whenever accounting policies are changing, as a result of change in accounting policy, we can change the method retrospectively. Retrospectively means back year. From the last 2 year or 3 year, you can incorporate the change. Now, this change is not in your course, and change in policy, it can be, there are two models. One is historical model and other is revaluation model. So if model is changed of charging the depreciation, again these two model will be discussed in the later part. So if model is changing, this change can be brought retrospectively. Or if suppose you want to make a decision, let's say the management takes a decision that we are going to charge this asset as a depreciation, and on this asset no depreciation will be charged. Now this is known as your policy decision. So if your policy decisions are changing, this change is brought retrospectively. Otherwise, estimates are changing, they are brought prospectively. And we are going to study prospective effect. Okay. Now the thing is, what we are supposed to do under prospective effect. Now, what is the procedure? Please switch off
Ma'am, I have
your
a doubt. Can I
mic.
ask?
Yes.
Ma'am, if we change the method of depreciation, we will be violating the consistency principle.
That's right. This principle is violated, but there is also a principle of full disclosure. Now, principle of full disclosure say whatever you are experiencing experiencing or the benefit which you are deriving from your asset, if your benefits are going down and initially you have assumed equal benefit, you have to change the method. Now in this case, both principles basically they are you can say superimposed on each other. So the thing is, as per ASCAN, we give more weightage to principle of disclosure. So according to the principle of disclosure, if your estimates has changed, you have to disclose the change in estimate, and accordingly you have to change the method of charging depreciation, or whatever change is there, you have to brought into account that change. Fine. So although it is violating consistency principle, but now that is basically we it is taken care by, or you can say superseded by your principle of full disclosure. Fine. Okay. Now what we are supposed to do when we have to bring this change under this method? I'm repeating again. Some of you mic is on. Please switch off your mic. It's creating disturbance. Under this method, method, that is this prospective effect, new method is to be applied from the current accounting year, and depreciation already charged in the previous year, it is to be ignored. Now what you are going to do, whenever you are bringing that change, right from that year onward, you have to change the method. It has nothing to do with the previous years. So whatever you have done, whatever has been done in the past, that is done. So past cannot be redone. So that is the crux of this method. So whatever you have done in past, just ignore it right from the current year. And from the current year, when you are bringing the change, whatever balance is there in your books of account, that is the book value or the written down value, whatever value is there, that value will become the basis during the remaining working life of the asset. By applying the new method from the year the change is required to be made. So what is the first step? First step is, whenever you are changing the method, simply calculate the book value on the date of change. Ignore whatever you have done in the past. So right from that year and in the subsequent year, change will be applicable. So calculate the carrying amount. Carrying amount is nothing but the book value or the written down value as per the old method. Calculate on the date of change, and then at the end of the year, obviously you are changing the method because depreciation is charged at the end of the year. So in the year of change, so at the close of the year, you are going to change the method. And second thing is, this method of charging depreciation, obviously the new method, it will be applicable on asset unsold at the end of the accounting period. Assets sold in the year of change of method will be charged as per the old method of charging depreciation. Now what is this? Now this is what, suppose in year 2016, again mic is not switched off. Okay. Now I was talking about this thing. This is regarding, suppose you purchase a machinery in 2014. Fine. Now you were charging depreciation on SLM method. Okay. In 2016, you decide to change the method from SLM to WDV. So till 16, it means 2014 done, 2015 done. So calculate book value in the beginning of 2016. It can be 1/1/16 if it's a calendar year, or it can be 1st April 16 if it's a financial year. So in the beginning of 2016, calculate the book value which is there in your books of account, and on that book value, on 31st December or on 31st March, you are going to charge the depreciation as per new method. Now the thing is, if during 16 you have sold any asset, now on that particular asset sold, the depreciation will be charged as per old method. Now the question is why? Why we are not changing the method on asset sold? Now the answer is very simple. Since depreciation is charged at the end of the year, so when you are changing the method of depreciation, this change will be applicable on unsold asset on 31st December or on 31st March. So if any asset is sold during the year, that is prior to 31st December or 31st March, they are not subject to change of method unless and until it is written in the question. So if it is specifically mentioned in the question that this change is applicable on asset sold also, then on the asset sold new method will be applicable. But if no information is given, you are not going to change the method on assets sold. Only at the end of the year, whatever assets unsold are there, on the unsold asset, you are going to change the method. Okay, so the thing is, what you are going to do, step one, calculate the book value, which is also known as the carrying amount in the beginning of the year. Step two, whatever assets are sold during the year, you just follow the old method of charging depreciation and work out profit and loss. And step three, whenever you are changing the method on the unsold asset at the end of the accounting period, new method will be applicable. Okay, now,
Ma'am,
yes.
what if the asset is sold at the end of the year?
If the asset is sold at the end of the year, then I think because method is changed on 31st December, obviously you are going to charge depreciation as per new method. So date is there. If it is sold at the end of the year, method is changed, then even on the asset sold, new method will be applicable. Okay. Now let's analyze
Why
it.
new method will be applicable? We'll be charging old method only.
I told you when the method is applicable at the end of the year. Okay, so if at the end of the year some assets are lying with you, either they are disposed of on the same day or they are kept by the organization, new method will be applicable. Okay, generally this doesn't happen because most of the time the assets are sold during the year. But if this is an exceptional case, in case the asset is sold at the end of the year, so the rule is change the method at the end. So even on the asset sold, new method will be applicable. Okay. Okay. Now let's explain the whole thing.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, please repeat step second and step third.
I have come to that. Simple three step. Calculate the book value in the year of change in the beginning. Whatever asset sold during the year, method will not be changed. Old method will be applicable. And at the close of the year, whatever book value is there for unsold asset, change the method. Okay. Now I will explain it to you. It will be more clear if we take an example. One thing more, I'm coming back to your BBB button because some of your mics are open and voices are coming here. I will simply remove that student from the class. Please switch off your mobile, switch off your audio and switch on it only when you have to ask the question.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, this method will be applicable to prospective effect.
Yes, this is in your course. This is all prospective. Retrospective effect, it is doesn't exist now. It has scrapped. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now
Hello?
let's. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, I didn't understand the point when the asset is sold at the end of the year.
Beta, we are going to charge the depreciation at the end of the year. Na? We will change the depreciation at the end of the year. Okay? Even if you are selling the asset at the end of the year, as per rule, new method will be applicable on the closing date of the year. So on the closing date of the year, if assets are unsold, its depreciation is booked and book value is remain in your books of account. And if asset is sold, new method will be applicable. Now it will affect only your profit and loss account, isn't it? When you are changing your method of charging depreciation, your profit or loss on sale will be affected. But the ultimate impact on your profit and loss account, it will remain same, isn't it? So it hardly matter, because whenever you are, suppose I just give you one example. Let's say you are selling a particular asset, its book value is let's say 10,000, ठीक है, डेप्रिसिएशन आप पहले एसएलएम पे चार्ज कर रहे थे 10%, अब आपको डब्ल्यूडीवी पे चार्ज करना है लेट्स से 15%, ठीक है। 10,000 आपका बुक वैल्यू था, 10,000 आपने सपोज एसएलएम पे चार्ज करा, आप उसको सेल कर रहे हो 31 दिसंबर को। आई एम जस्ट एक्सप्लेनिंग व्हाट विल हैपन इफ यू यूज ओल्ड मेथड और इफ यू यूज न्यू मेथड। तो 10,000 में से 1,000 आपका एसएलएम पे गया, 9,000 बुक वैल्यू आ गई आपका, सपोज इट इज सोल्ड फॉर 7,000, तो 9,000 बुक वैल्यू सोल्ड फॉर 7,000, हाउ मच लॉस इज देयर, 2,000। तो what is reflected in your profit and loss account, 1,000 depreciation it will be charged to P&L account, or 2,000 loss on sale it will be charged to your P&L account. Fine, total impact on the debit side of P&L account will be 3,000. Clear to you? Okay, now the thing is, suppose the same asset it is sold on 31st December or 31st March and now we are changing the method. अब 15% हो गया आपका WD, अब इसमें WDV हो या SLM हो, it will be charged on the book value. Fine, 10,000 book value is there which you are selling, you are charging depreciation 15%, 10,000 का 15%, 1,500, how much value is left, 8,500 is the book value, it is sold for 7,000, how much loss is there, 1,500. Now entry passed to P&L account, 1,500 depreciation on the debit side, 1,500 loss on sale on the debit side, ultimate impact remain the same, 3,000. Clear to you? So it doesn't affect your profit and loss account, only the value of your profit and loss and your depreciation will change. But this is the rule which we follow. If your asset is sold at the end of the year and since method is changed and change of method is applicable at the end of the year, then don't differentiate between the assets whether it is sold or unsold. Method will be new. Clear to you? Okay, now let's come to this. Let's take a question. X Limited bought machinery 1 lakh with an expected life of 10 years. After 4 years of use, company decided to change the depreciation method from SLM to reducing balance at the rate of 15%. Now, in this case, after 4 years of use, it means till 4 years SLM method was applicable, and then after that, yes,
Ma'am, the slide has not changed.
slide has not changed. Okay, now it's changing. Yes.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Which slide you are getting? Change of
Change.
method.
Change of method of depreciation.
Example 2 है.
Okay, now
Example.
now the okay, now the screen is visible. No.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, it's not
oh,
visible to me. Should I rejoin?
Obviously, I think there is a problem on your part then. Okay. So, cost of the machinery 1 lakh, life is 10 years. After 4 years of use, company decide to change the depreciation method from SLM to reducing at 15%. Now, method is also changed and rate is also changed. Obviously, rate is given. You are required to calculate the debt for 5th, 6th and 7th year. Okay. First of all, calculate the book value in the year of change. Now, what is the book value? Till 4 years, your SLM is changed. So what will be the depreciation for 4 years? cost minus scrap divided by number of year. So as per SLM method, cost is 1 lakh, scrap is not given, divided by number of year, 10,000 per year. So total depreciation charge for 4 year will be 40,000. Now, since a change happens after 4 year, so till 4 year we have charged as per SLM. So book value or carrying amount at the end of 4 year will be cost minus depreciation 60,000. Now this 60,000, it will become the basis for charging depreciation now onward. So this is the opening book value 60,000. Fifth year में कितना चार्ज करोगे? 15%. तो 15% of 60,000 9,000. And sixth year में, since it's WDV, again book value, opening book value 60 minus 9. That will be the book value in the sixth year, 15%, 7650. And in the seventh year, again, since WDV is there, book value will be 51,000 minus depreciation for sixth year, 51,000 minus 7650. That is again 15%, 6503, and so on. So both points are clear. First, calculate the book value as per the old method. After deducting the depreciation, that book value become the basis, and apply the new method, new rate, and accordingly every year, since it's a WDV method, so your depreciation go on diminishing every year. Okay. Now let's take another one. This was your SLM to WDV. Now suppose if we change the method from WDV to SLM, what will happen? Let's take this one.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Ma'am, in the previous slide, at the last, something is written
This-
100%, 80%.
That I will come to you later on. This is the book value. I gave you the formula. This one. This formula. This one. This is your book value using your SLM. Cost price 1 minus accumulated depreciation. You are charging 4 year 10%. 4 year depreciation net आपका था, तो 10%, 10%, 10%, 40% depreciation is charged. अब आप कहोगे यहाँ 10% कैसे आया, ये 40 कहाँ से आया? Now this is nothing but you are charging depreciation 10,000 on a cost of 1 lakh. So what will be the percentage? 10,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100. So 10% will be your SLM rate. That 10% I have taken. So 4 year means 10% for 4 year, 40% depreciation is charged, so 60% amount is left. So 60,000 value is left. Either do it like this or simple, तुम्हें पता ही है, cost minus depreciation till date, that is your book value. I will come to this later on. This is corresponding to the next slide. Okay. Second example, X Limited bought machinery for 1 lakh with an expected life of 10 years. Same question. After 4 years of use, company decide to change the depreciation method from WDV to SLM at the rate of 20% per annum. You are required to calculate the depreciation for the 5th year, 6th year, and 7th year. Now, what happens here? You are going to charge depreciation as per WDV old method. So, what is the step number 1? Calculate the carrying amount or book value at the date of change. Now, annual depreciation is according to WDV. Till 4 year, charge the depreciation as per WDV and calculate the book value. I have taken a working note here. We can use the formula also. I will come to the formula after this. First year cost 1 lakh, 20% debt 20,000, book value 80, again 20% 16,000, book value 64, again 20% of 64. This is third year. Fourth year, again 20% of 51,200, 10,250. So it means book value at the end of 4th year or in the beginning of 5th year is 40,960. Fine. This is your book value after charging depreciation as per WDV. Now this book value now become the basis for charging depreciation in the subsequent year. Now change in the depreciation is made after 4 years. So till 4 year it is charged on WDV basis.
Hello.
Book value at the
Hello.
yes.
मैम इन द प्रीवियस ईयर WDV मेथड की डेप्रिसिएशन का रेट हमें गिवन ही नहीं है, तो हाउ वी विल चार्ज 20%?
किसमें In this question,
Yes, ma'am.
it is given now.
Ma'am,
Decide to change the
लेटेस्ट ईयर
method
का
from
गिवन है
नहीं both है
WDV to
WDV to SLM at the rate of 20% per annum.
20%.
ठीक है, this is both. Otherwise, if WDV rate is not given to, you are supposed to calculate it. If suppose calculation is required, the scrap must be with you.
Yes, ma'am. But it is not given here.
It is not given now, so it means this rate is you can say we can easily assume that we are simply changing the method, rate remaining the same. Okay. Okay. So this is your book value, 40,960. It is to be depreciated as per SLM. Now SLM depreciation is what? Cost minus scrap divided by number of year. Now in this case, cost is not taken into account. What is taken into account? The book value. 4960 is the book value. Scrap is not given. And what is the number of year? Now this number of year will not be 10 year because 4 year has already passed. So number of year which is remaining, that will be 6 years. If suppose rate is not given, suppose if this rate is not given, then you have to follow the rule. But since in this question rate is given, so there is no need to calculate for the remaining life. So simply you can apply SLM method at 20% per annum. 40,960 का 20%. Again, since SLM है, so your depreciation will be uniform. So every year 8192 depreciation will be charged in your books of account. I'm coming to that. Suppose if this rate is not given, if this rate is given here, they charge the depreciation from WDV at 20% to SLM method. Suppose ये 20% आपका WDV के साथ दिया होता and SLM का rate is not given, then you have to use your formula, that is book value minus scrap divided by remaining life. So 40,960 minus scrap 0 divided by remaining life, 4 years has passed, so remaining life is 6. So accordingly you have to charge the depreciation. Fine. Okay. Now the thing is, this 4960, this is through the working note. But I told you there is a shortcut also. What is the shortcut? How to calculate book value? Cost 1 minus R1, 1 minus R2, 1 minus R3, 1 minus R4. Now till 4 year you are charging depreciation. So R1 be 20% at 80%, 80% and so on. Every year 20% depreciation is charged. So 80% book value is left. So this is the cost minus, this is R1 minus R1, R2, R3 and R4. So 40,960 at the rate of 20%. Using this formula, you can always calculate. Again, I'm telling you, there is no hard and fast rule. Whichever you find it convenient, follow that rule. Either follow this formula or you can make this working note. If it's convenient for you, you can do it. Okay. So this is regarding your change of method from SLM to WDV and from WDV to SLM. Okay, now let's take a question. I'm again taking the same question which you have done in the previous classes also, where we have made a different set of account. Now you have you remember this question by heart now, because same question I have taken. Now I have simply incorporated change of method here. Now let's read it. 1st January 2017. Machinery purchase for 1 lakh, estimated life 10 year, breakup value 4,000. 1st January 2018, 1st July 2019, another machinery purchase for 16,000 and 8,000. Their scrap is given. Prepare machinery account after providing depreciation by SLM method, assuming the life of the asset is 10 years. On 1st October 2019, machinery purchased on 1/1/17 was sold for 84,000. Prepare machinery account without asset disposal account or with asset disposal account. You know how to do it now. If trader decide to change the method of charging depreciation to WDV at 20% per annum in 2019. Okay. Now we are concerned with this change of method. Okay. Now, since it's a SLM method, I am repeating this again because already this thing is already known to you. So what we are going to do, calculate as per SLM, what is your annual charge. So this is your annual charge will be 1 lakh minus your scrap 4,000, 96,000 divided by 10, 9,600. Second, 16,000 minus 800 divided by 10, 1520. 8,000 minus 1,000 divided by 10, 800. So annual depreciation as per SLM is with you. Just start with this. Bank account 1 lakh, depreciation for first 96, balance carried on, balance brought down. Depreciation for first 9,600, second asset purchase on the same date 16,000, depreciation for second as per SLM 1520. Balance carried down. This is your individual balance and this is 95,280 gross. This 1,06,400 is total. Okay, balance brought down 95,280. This is the breakup of individual machinery. On 110, since your method is changed in 2019 or 2019 को ही you are selling this asset. 1st October 2019 asset is sold. So 1st October 2019, since asset is sold during the year, old method is applicable. So depreciation for 9 months. अब since you are selling M1, तो M1 का depreciation annual कितना था 9600, तो 9600 for 9 months 7200. Fine. Okay. Bank account, it is sold for 64,000. I told you this is 64, not 84. 64,000. Okay. Now M1 80,800 is your book value. 9-month depreciation 7,200. So it means your 73,600 that will be your book value, and your sale price is 64,000. Compare it, profit and loss will be with you. I think you know how to calculate P&L so far. Now this is done. Now new machinery is purchased for 8,000. Now the thing is on 31st December 19. On 31st December 19, in 19 you are changing this method. So on 31st December 19 your method is changed. What you are going to do, apply the new method. Now what is the book value? Since M1 is sold, only M2 and M3 is left. So what we are going to calculate, book value of unsold asset. So book value of unsold asset, M2 का कितना है 14,480. तो 14,480 का 20% डेप्रिसिएशन हमने चार्ज कर दिया 2,896. और M3 ये फ्रेश बाय है, इसका है प्राइस 8,000. तो 8,000 का 20% into 6/12. Since your method has been changed, so new rate is applicable on the book value. So this is your 2,896 and 800. So balance brought down, deducting it 14,480 minus depreciation 2,896, 11,584, and this 8,000 depreciation 800. So this is your 7,200. And so
चेंज ऑफ मेथड तो एप्लीकेबल एंड ऑफ द ईयर से होता है, तो हम
हाँ जी।
31st दिसंबर 19 को हम डिप्रिसिएशन WDV से क्यों लगा रहे हैं? हमें मतलब 20 में नहीं लगाना चाहिए अगर एंड से एप्लीकेबल है तो
एंड कौन सा है इसमें? आपके किस ईयर में चेंज कर रहे हो? 2019 में। तो आपका 2019 का एंड क्या होगा? 31 दिसंबर 19 ना?
यस मैम।
तो 31 दिसंबर 19 की तो चेक हम चेंज कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है, करेक्ट? Okay. So if in suppose you have to make account for 2020 also. So in that case, your SLM, it has gone. Now this will be your opening book value. So 20% on 11,584 and 20% of 7,200, it will be charged in the year 2020. Clear to you? So this is.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, if the asset is now sold, suppose in this question, if the asset is sold at the end of the year, 31st December 2019,
Hmm.
ma'am, then on the asset sold, which depreciation is charged, old or new?
New, I have already told you now. Suppose your asset is sold on 31st December 19. Suppose if it is sold on 31st December 19, so what you are going to do, you are going to charge depreciation for 9 months on your opening book value. तो M1 का book value कितना है 80,800. तो 80,800 का 20% for 9 months you will be charging depreciation here, and then comparing your net book value with your sale price to work out your profit and loss. So the point is, check only the date is relevant. If your whatever assets are with you on your closing date, whether it is sold or whether it is unsold, you are going to change the method on the closing date. So if suppose here your date is, let's say, 31st December, then on this asset also your method will be changed. Clear hai? Our rule is not there that you have to charge change of method on unsold. That unsold asset is applicable if during the year some assets are sold. So whatever assets are there on 31st December, on that particular asset you are going to change the method of depreciation. That is the rule. Clear hai? Okay.
मैम एक चीज पूछनी है,
हाँ जी.
एग्जाम्पल 1 या एग्जाम्पल 2 में जब 4 इयर्स के बाद चेंज हो रहा है मेथड, तो जब हम जैसे डेप्रिसिएशन निकालें तो कॉस्ट माइनस स्क्रैप वैल्यू अपॉन नंबर ऑफ इयर्स, तो यहाँ पे नंबर ऑफ इयर्स हम 4 लेंगे या जो हमें 10 इयर्स बताई गई है वो यूजफुल लाइफ जो है वो लेंगे?
आप मुझे ये, ओके, यू जस्ट टेल मी वन थिंग, योर बुक वैल्यू इज इन द बिगिनिंग ऑफ 5th ईयर ना. 4 year depreciation you have charged, तो आपका 40,960, this is the book value in the beginning of 5th year. Now how much life is left? 4 years so has gone. So what I told you, whatever is gone, that is gone. So that becomes immaterial. How much life is left now? 6 years is left now. So this 40,960, it will be charged on 6 years. It won't be charged on 10 years. आप दोबारा से उसको लाइफ को नहीं एक्सटेंड करोगे. लाइफ इज कांस्टेंट 10 ईयर. तो अगर 4 years has been passed, तो remaining life 6 years, this book value will be spread over 6 years. Clear? Okay. This is regarding, like I told you in this particular slide, whenever your pattern of consumption is changing. So pattern of consumption means method is changing from SLM to WDV or from WDV to SLM. You bring this change from the current year, that is prospectively. Now, what will happen if your life is changing or if the scrap value is changing? How to incorporate change in estimate as per AS10. Okay, now I think I have made this thing clear to you. If your method is changed, how you are going to do it? Please, how many times I will tell you, please switch off your mic. Okay. Okay, now let's come to this. Suppose there is a revision of useful life. Now, as I told you, the useful life of the asset, it is also an estimated one. So the useful life of the asset, it can undergo changes because of certain factor. It can be a life of the asset. Like I have taken the example, if your plant and machinery is handled by inefficient worker, it will reduce the life of your plant and machinery. And suppose if your plant and machinery requires certain specific type of lubricant or specific type of petrol to run it, and if you are using cheaper quality lubricant, cheaper quality petrol, and In that case, the life of the asset, it may go down, or it may go upward also. If you use it efficiently, if you do proper repair and maintenance, life may extend also. So the point is, whenever there is a change in the useful life of an asset, that change or revision in the estimated useful life must be incorporated over the unamortized amount. 8 minutes. Okay. So, uh, okay, I am coming to BBB button.
Ishita, could you please switch off your mic?
Anchal, your mobile is on. Your audio is on.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Now it's audible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, so we were talking about if there is change in the useful life of the asset, how we are going to incorporate it. We have explained the factors which can affect the life of the asset. Now, suppose if your life is changing, obviously that change is very easy to brought in. Now, let's take an example just to check this. Hari Limited purchased a plant on 1/4/14 for 58,000. Scrap value of the asset is 8,000 and its useful life is estimated to be 10 years. Company charge depreciation on straight line. In the fourth year, the useful life of the plant is revised to 8 years. What accounting adjustment is required to be made? Okay. Now, since it is said in the fourth year, useful life is revised. It means you have to calculate the book value in the beginning of the fourth year. So in the beginning of the fourth year means till 3 year you have to charge the depreciation as per your old life. So your asset SLM method is there. So 58,000 minus 8,000. So 50,000, 50,000 divided by 10. So 5,000, this is your annual charge. 3 year depreciation is charged. So depreciation charge in the first 3 year, it will be 15,000. Now, what will be your unamortized depreciable amount, or you can say the book value? Now, what is your book value? Cost minus depreciation. So 58,000 minus depreciation till date 15,000, 43,000. This is your depreciation book value in the beginning of the year. Now, this for 43,000, it is to be charged over how many years? Now, your life is revised for 8 years. Now, if your life is revised for 8 years, 3 year has been passed. Okay? So your revised rest of the life will be your 5 years. So in this case, wait. So in this case, this 43,000 depreciation to be charged for the rest of the 5 year, it will be 43,000 divided by 5. So that will be equal to 8,600. That is the depreciation which you are going to charge if your life is changed. Now, I have just added one tail to the question. Now, what is the tail? Suppose if your scrap value is also changing. Like in this case, what happened? This was the question. Okay. So now in this case, suppose it is given to you that your asset scrap value is 8,000. This is the question. 58,000 cost, scrap value is 8,000. Now suppose it is said that in the fourth year, the useful life of the plant is revised to 8 years and scrap is estimated to be 13,000. Okay. Now, along with the life of the asset, your scrap value is also changing. So, what you are going to do, you are going to incorporate the change in scrap also. Now, if your scrap is going up, so it means what you do, you deduct the scrap value from the cost price. So, how much scrap is going up? 8,000 आपका initial scrap था. Now your new scrap is 13,000. I've explained it to you. What will happen if your life is changing? What will happen if your scrap is changing? Now you can say scrap here, it is upward estimation is there. What will happen suppose if it's a downward? Let's say we say here, suppose in place of 13,000, if suppose I say our estimated scrap is only 3,000. This is also possible. Now what will happen? Initial scrap value was 8,000. आपने 8,000 deduct किया था. Now your scrap has been estimated to 3,000. It means 5,000 rupees which you have deducted more, now you have to reverse that. So in place of deducting 5,000 rupees here, what you are going to deduct, you are going to add 5,000. So you will be having 48,000 rupees as your new book value, which is to be incorporated divided by 5. So accordingly, you can charge the depreciation. Clear to you? So this will be 9,600 will be the depreciation charged in the subsequent year. So I hope this is clear to you. So whenever whenever your life is changing, whenever the scrap is changing, if scrap is going upward, so extra scrap value you have to deduct it from the book value, and whatever is going downward, if your scrap is going downward, it means you have to reverse your scrap which you have deducted extra in the initial. So then you are going to deduct it, and accordingly your depreciation will be charged. Now the thing is, suppose
I have a
in
query,
this,
ma'am.
let me complete it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So suppose along with this, suppose they also ask you change the method. Method भी change हो गया जी. Along with the life, method is also changed. So what you are going to do in that case, if suppose from SLM method you are going to convert it into WDV, तो either the WDV का rate given होगा, the method has been changed from SLM to WDV along with the life of the asset, and this is the rate. If rate is there, so whatever your book value here, you apply that rate as per WDV. And if rate is not there, then you know how to calculate the rate. 1 minus number of year root scrap divided by book value. And this will be your book value, new book value, and this will be your scrap value. That is the corresponding scrap which is given to you. If new scrap value is there, then the new scrap value, otherwise the old scrap, and accordingly you are going to calculate the rate. Now, what you want to ask? Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, in this question, in fourth year, we have revised the useful life of asset is 8 years. Ma'am, what does it mean that total useful life of asset is now 8 years, or from fourth year now we can use asset for more 8 years?
Okay. This is nothing but when we talk about useful life is the total life. If it is given in the fourth year, the remaining life of the plant is 8 years. If the word remaining is there, okay, in that case it is from now onward. And if the word remaining is not there, if simply written useful life, तो useful life का मतलब है total useful life. Clear है?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
Thank
this
you,
is
ma'am.
regarding, okay. So this is regarding your change in the useful life. Okay. Now,
Ma'am, can you show us a question where all the three cases are there? Change in method, change in...
okay. Wait. This was the change in method, the question which we have done here. This question, this was the change in method now. The method has been changed from SLM to WDV. Now, as far as these questions are concerned, that is your change in remaining life or change in your scrap value, that I have done here. And since, let me tell you, as for the level we are taking up the question. Okay? So you are not going to get a question where all the three things are clubbed together. The life is changing, scrap is changing, and your cost is changing, method is changing. So you will be getting question corresponding to only one change. Either the method is changing along with rate, or a question where only the useful life is changing. So accordingly you have to solve the question. ठीक है? तो complex problem is not in your syllabus, so हम वो नहीं ले रहे हैं. So only one or two changes will be there. So I think here I have explained it to you. When the life change or when your scrap value change, all is incorporated. Clear है? most of the time we will be getting a question only with respect to कि method change हो रहा है, SLM से WDB हो रहा है और WDB से SLM हो रहा है. That I have already explained to you in the previous short questions as well as in a long question. Okay, so yes.
Ma'am, this explain this last formula, that 1 minus number of year.
Beta, this is nothing but this formula I have explained in my initial lecture. Starting की theory जब हमने करी थी, I have explained it there only. Let me take you to that. ये रहा. ये. This is the formula. Whenever, okay, this is the formula. 1 minus number of year root scrap upon cost. ठीक है? तो suppose if your method is changing, scrap value change हो रही है, तो write the new scrap value here divided by cost में लेना है. What you have to take? Book value and remaining life. Accordingly, your new rate will be calculated. Again, let me tell you, you will be getting this question. If this type of question is coming, it will be a short question. Long question will not incorporate all the things. Okay, so I'm giving you 10 minutes break since you have to club lecture with me. So it's 11:35. So I will come back at 11:45. So 10 minutes break is there. Okay, then we move to the next concept. Hello. Yes, हाँ जी सुखविंदर.
Ma'am, if the useful life of the asset increases, for example, from 10 years, the asset life has increased to 13 years, then what will be the case?
Same, आप उसको अप्लाई करिएगा न्यू मेथड पे. दिस इज योर, सपोज यहाँ लाइफ आपकी चेंज हो जाती है. यहाँ लाइफ कितनी थी आपकी? 10 ईयर थी ओल्ड. न्यू आपकी लाइफ सपोज रिवाइज्ड 13 ईयर्स हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो इस केस में हाउ मेनी इयर्स हैज पास्ड? 3 ईयर हैज पास्ड.
Yes, ma'am.
So out of 13, 3 year has passed, so 10 year will be the remaining life. So you divided by 10. Clear?
No, ma'am. Please repeat.
देखिए, in the 4th year, the useful life of the plant is revised to 13 year. Suppose if it is 13 year. और मैं आपको क्या लेना है? रिमेनिंग लाइफ लेना है ना, जब आप क्वेश्चन कर रहे हो यहाँ पे. तो 13 इयर्स आपकी रिवाइज लाइफ हो गई. हाउ मेनी ईयर हैज पास्ड? 3 इयर्स हैज पास्ड ना, क्योंकि आपका ये जो रिवीजन हुआ है वो कौन सी ईयर में हुआ है? 4th ईयर में. तो 3 ईयर हैज पास्ड. तो आउट ऑफ 13 ईयर 3 ईयर हैज पास्ड. सो व्हाट इज द रिमेनिंग लाइफ? 10 ईयर. So depreciation to be charged for the rest of the life, that will be 10 year, not 5 year.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है, चलिए. Okay, see you after 10 minutes.
Ma'am, class is over now.
Class is not over. I will come back after 10 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
This is nothing but whenever your asset estimated life is going up or going down, accordingly you have to incorporate that change in your books of account. So in this particular question, step 1 remains the same, that calculate the book value on the date of change in the beginning, obviously. So like in this case, asset was purchased for 58,000, scrap was 8,000. So useful life is 10 years. So per year depreciation will be 5,000. Company charge depreciation on SLM, that related. In the 4th year, life is revised. Now when it is written that the life is revised, it means total useful life is revised. So you have to write, since depreciation, you cannot exceed the life of the asset. Now the total useful life is 8 years. Out of 8 years, you are at this point of time, that is in the 4th year. So 3 year has passed. So out of 8, 3 year has passed. It means rest of the life is just 5 years. So whatever book value you are having, so book value in this case is 58,000, cost minus depreciation, that is 43,000. Now this book value should be spread over the life of the asset, over the remaining life of the asset, and the remaining life of the asset is 5 years. But suppose if it is written in the question, in the 4th year, the remaining life of the plant is 8 years. Okay. So agar word remaining is there, it means this remaining life is the actual remaining life. Now you are not supposed to deduct 3 year which has passed. ठीक है? So in that case, you have to take 8 year as the remaining life. So the point is, whenever the useful life is revised and the word remaining is not there, then you have to work out how much remaining life is left by deducting the life which has gone, and rest will be the remaining life. Along with it, I have told you, if suppose your scrap value is also changing, so you have to incorporate the change in scrap also in your book value. So like here the net book value was 43,000, and if it is says that scrap is estimated to be 3,000, now initially you have deducted scrap value 8,000. अब आपका scrap value is 3,000. It means 5,000 decline in scrap value is there. So how you are going to adjust it? What you do cost minus scrap. अब scrap decline हो रहा है तो minus minus आपका plus हो जाएगा. So you have to add back extra scrap value which you have deducted in the initial 1,414. तो आपको 5,000, क्योंकि 8,000 था पहले, अब है 3,000, तो 5,000 एक्स्ट्रा स्क्रैप आपको ऐड बैक कर देना पड़ेगा. तो दिस इज योर न्यू बुक वैल्यू spread over the remaining life. So this will be 48,000 divided by 5, 96,000 per year. That's what we have discussed in this particular slide. Okay.
Question. You
Yes.
said in case scrap value changes and it goes down, then the extra scrap value will be added to the cost if it goes down. So if the basis of WDV, will we write minus 5,000?
नहीं, आप
और
रूट
plus-
तो माइनस, आप उसमें रूट माइनस में नहीं ले सकते हो. उसमें आपको जब फॉर्मूला निकालना है तो आपको न्यू स्क्रैप लेना पड़ेगा. तो WDV में न्यू स्क्रैप इज व्हाट? 3,000. This is applicable only when you are using SLM method. SLM method में because your rate depend upon your annual charge, और annual charge आपका कैसे निकलता है? कॉस्ट माइनस स्क्रैप निकलता है ना. तो उसमें तो स्क्रैप को ऑलरेडी कॉस्ट में से डिडक्ट करके आप उसका डेप्रिसिएशन निकालते हो एंड देन यू कैलकुलेट द रेट. ठीक है. बट यहाँ पे फॉर्मूला इज डिफरेंट. तो यहाँ पे whenever the scrap is changing, new scrap you have to write down. Whatever be the new scrap, चाहे वो कम है चाहे वो ज्यादा है. Suppose new scrap is 3,000, तो you write 3,000 here. अगर new scrap 13,000 है तो you write 13,000 here. आपको WDV में you are not supposed to change the write down the difference in scrap. आपको यहाँ पे new scrap और book value से लेना है.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear? Okay. So this was regarding when I have taken so far the 3 things that is covering under change of method. Let me go back to this. I have taken change in the estimated life. I have taken change in the estimated value. We have taken change in the estimated pattern of consumption, that is from SLM to WDV and WDV to SLM. If scrap is changing, how to incorporate. If estimated life is changing, how to incorporate. Now there is one more thing, that is your change in the historical cost or change in your book value of the asset.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Now, yes.
Can you please start recording?
Recording. Beta recording is used less because this recording is available only for 1 week. After 1 week, it gets deleted from your portal. Okay.
But ma'am, we can again listen to this lecture. So if our points are
Okay. I'm recording it. Okay. So this was all these three things we have discussed. Now I'm coming to the point, this thing, historical cost basis versus revaluation basis. Now in your depreciation accounting, we have two models of accounting. Now these two models, this is known as model under depreciation accounting. Now these two models are known as cost model and revaluation model. Now cost model, it is under AS 10 accounting standard, sorry, cost model was under AS 6 accounting standard 6. Now this was the model which people are using so far. Like you remember when you prepare depreciation account, you write the book value in the asset, and what is your book value? That is your cost that is means historical cost, purchase price minus depreciation till date. The book value, it is shown in your asset account and in your balance sheet. Now there is another model which is known as revaluation model. Now this revaluation model, it is the new addition to depreciation accounting. This is under AS 10. Now what this model says, it says once the asset is recognized and its fair value can be measured reliably, then it must be carried at the revalued amount, which is the fair value of such asset at the date of revaluation. Now, this model says, as per AS 10, every year, every organization, it is supposed to revalue its block of assets. Whatever capital asset the organization is having, every capital asset should be revalued at least once at the end of the accounting period. And that revalued price, it can be more than the book value, it can be less than the book value, or it can be equal to the book value also. So whatever be your revalued price, that revalued price must be shown in the books of account, so that full disclosure concept should be followed. Because whatever the company's fixed assets real position is there, that real position must be shown in the books of account. Now, as you know, when we charge the depreciation based upon your estimates. Fine. So your book value may be different, but its actual price may be different. Now, I have taken one example in the previous classes also. Like if suppose you have a car with you and you have purchased it for, let's say, 10 lakh rupees. After 4 years, you assume you are charging depreciation, let's say 10,000 per annum, you are charging depreciation. Generally, for personal things, we don't charge depreciation, but we can easily assume कि 4 साल बाद asset की value इतना होगा. So after 4 years, suppose you assume कि car value is, book value is what, 6 lakh. तो 6 lakh आपको मिलना चाहिए if you want to dispose it after 4 years. Now the book value is 6 lakh, but what is its actual value? Actual value means the actual fair value of such asset. So what you do, you put a value, you go to the dealer, and the dealer will put a value to your car, whether it is 6 lakh, whether it is less than 6 lakh, or it is more than 6 lakh. So that revaluation, it is just relating to the car, and here we are talking about revaluation for all types of assets. For plant and machinery, for furniture and fitting, for your building, for property, whatever capital assets are being used, all the assets should be revalued. Now you say, generally the revaluation is done only at the time of admission or retirement or death or a dissolution, or when there is a change in profit sharing ratio, we do the revaluation. isn't it? You have done it in partnership. But this is the another thing, this thing is proposed and accepted under accounting standard 10, that you have to disclose the balance sheet at true and fair value. So true and fair value will be reflected only when your assets are at its true value, and its true value is its fair value. So what you do, you simply revalue your asset at the end of the year. If your revalued price is just equivalent to your book value, nothing to be done, because whatever you are showing in the books, actual picture is same. So it is correct. But if your revalue asset, revalued price of your asset, it is more or less, then you have to incorporate that change. So what this AS10 says, that cost of fixed assets may undergo changes subsequent to its acquisition or construction on account of many factors. And these factors can be exchange rate fluctuation, price adjustment.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, revaluation only takes place when there is change of method.
No, it's different. This is under AS10, that every year you have depreciation, change of method is slightly different, वो अलग है. This is regarding कि every year you have to value your asset. At the end of the year, you have to put the fair value of the asset, and if your revalue price, it is more or less than your book value, then how to incorporate that thing. That is your revaluation model. अभी तक क्या करते थे आप, सपोज आपने एसेट की ओपनिंग बुक वैल्यू है लेट्स से 6 लाख, आपने डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ज करा 60,000, बुक वैल्यू आ गई 540. तो दैट 540 इट इज शोन इन योर बैलेंस शीट. दिस इज योर कॉस्ट मॉडल. ठीक है. अब क्या करोगे रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल में, आपका क्लोजिंग बैलेंस है 540, you value your asset from a certified valuer. Most of the big companies, they do carry these practices. So a valuer come and he will value the property or your office equipments or your land and building property. So the valuation is done, and that valuation is known as a fair value. So you compare the fair value with the book value and just check whether your books of account are showing actual value or not. Like I have taken the example, आपका book value क्या था asset का 5,40,000, and suppose the valuer says its value is 540, so nothing to be done, it remain as it is. But suppose there are certain factors, these factors I have listed here. Due to any factor, suppose your revalued price changes. Now suppose it is 5,60,000, तो 20,000 से आपका book value बढ़ गया. Your books showing 540, revalued price is 560. तो normally आप क्या करते थे, you take this 20,000 to the revaluation account. ठीक है. But here there is certain difference where the entry to be posted, I will come to that, but that revaluation difference must be taken care under revaluation model. So the book value has to be adjusted to the revalue amount. If asset is to be revalued, then the entire class of that asset will be revalued, and the book value has to be adjusted to the revalue. Now it means, suppose you have plant and machinery carrying the code 101. So all the plant and machinery under that code, not a single machinery to be revalued, all the block of machinery which exists, so the entire class of the asset should be revalued. So if we are revaluing machinery, so all the machineries to be revalued. When we are valuing the buildings, all the building that an organization is having, whether it's an office building or your factory or whatever building they are having, all the entire class of that particular asset, they should come under revaluation, and their value, book value must be adjusted towards your revalued amount. Now the question comes, how to do the revaluation? Okay, how to do that part is done. The valuer will come and put the fair value to the asset, and revaluation price will be with you. Now the thing is, your revaluation price may be different from your book value. So how to incorporate it? So that is to be done here. This is what An increase in the value of the asset should be transferred to revaluation surplus account. Now, most of the time when your asset value is going up, आप क्या करते थे? You transfer it to revaluation account ना, आप एंट्री बनाते थे asset account debit to revaluation account. But here we are not preparing revaluation account because it is not actually in that sense of admission retirement wala revaluation. This is the revaluation, regular revaluation. So what we do, you transfer it to revaluation surplus account. This is the surplus which is coming up in your asset because of certain reason. So assets value is going up, so asset account is debited and revaluation surplus account is credited. Clear? Right? Now, if there is decrease in your asset account, now suppose if your asset account is decreased, तो asset credit हो जाएगा, तो क्या करेंगे हम? In this case, there are I come to this part. This I will explain later on. If there decrease in the fair value of the asset, it is transferred to profit and loss account or it is transferred to surplus account. Now, why these two things? Now, the thing is, suppose you are revaluing your asset for the first time and loss is happening. आपका book value 560 था, revalued price आपका 540 है, ठीक है? 20,000 decline is there. Now, since this is the first time decline and your revaluation surplus is not
Ma'am,
there.
please repeat.
So
I'm not able to understand.
okay, I am explaining it
When
to
there
you.
is decrease.
Suppose when there is a decrease, that decrease should be credited to asset account. Asset कम हो रहा है, asset should be credited. Now that decrease should be posted. Okay. Okay. So I was talking about if there is decrease in the value. So decrease in the value posted on the credit side of your asset account, and that decrease, it's a loss to you. That loss must be written on the debit side of your profit and loss account here. P&L account debit. Now, if it's a first time decline का मतलब है your surplus does not there. So if surplus does not exist and your asset is declining for the first time, entire decline in the value, it is posted to P&L account. But if it's a subsequent decline means already asset has increased in the past year. Like I told you, every year you are going to revise your asset. So suppose फर्स्ट ईयर में एसेट इज गोइंग अप, ठीक है? तो सपोज 30,000 से एसेट अप हो गई, आपने एंट्री कर दी एसेट अकाउंट डेबिट टू रिवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस 30,000. नाउ 30,000 surplus is already with you. Clear? Suppose in the next year your asset is going down by let's say 45,000. तो out of 45,000, 30,000 का surplus so already with you. So if you're having a surplus, then decline, it is posted to surplus account. And if surplus is not fully exist, आपका 45,000 decline था, surplus सिर्फ 30,000 का था, तो 30,000 will be transferred to surplus and rest of the amount it will be transferred to your profit and loss account. So 15,000 will be posted to P&L, 30,000 will be posted to surplus and 45,000 decline will be recorded in the asset account. Now I am repeating it again. Suppose first year में there is no surplus. In the first year there is a loss. So since surplus does not exist, you cannot adjust it. You cannot set off it against your revaluation surplus. So what you are going to do, if decline is happening for the first time, then it is posted on the debit side of your profit and loss account. Okay, so if it is a subsequent decrease should be debited to revaluation surplus account, and rest should be transferred to your profit and loss account. So the point is, whenever your asset is going up, revaluation surplus is created. Whenever asset is going down, and it is adjusted against revaluation surplus if surplus exists, and if surplus does not exist, then it is transferred to your profit and loss account. So this is, you can say, it is the use of revaluation surplus, where you can use the revaluation surplus. So you can use the revaluation surplus to set off the decline in the fair value of the asset in the subsequent year. Okay. Now the next thing is, if suppose there is, you can say, increase in depreciation due to upward revision, it will also be transferred to revaluation surplus account. Now, what do you mean by this? Now, it is just like, suppose your asset price is going up. Now, if your asset revalued price is going up, it means in that particular year, depreciation will be charged at a higher, on the higher book value. So, if whatever depreciation is increased due to this upward revision, that change in depreciation, it is also transferred to revaluation surplus account. Now it seems to be a bit complex. I just simplify it like this. Suppose आपका book value of the asset was 4 lakh, ठीक है, opening book value was 4 lakh. When you revalue that asset, your asset is revalued to, let's say, 5 lakh, ठीक है. Now your increase in asset price is 1 lakh on account of revaluation. So what we are going to do, asset account debit to revaluation surplus 1 lakh, 1 lakh. You are putting value here. Now, since you are charging depreciation now on 5 lakh, suppose your rate of depreciation is 10%. तो आपका revised book value is 5 lakh, 10% of 5 lakh will be 50,000. You will charge the depreciation 50,000. So your entry will be depreciation account debit to asset account 50,000, 50,000. Fine. Now, since just because of revaluation you are charging extra depreciation, suppose if there was no revaluation, आपका depreciation किस पे होता, 4 lakh पे 10%, 40,000, तो it means 10,000 extra depreciation charged because of revaluation. So that 10,000 you are not going to transfer to P&L account. Generally what you do, you make this entry, depreciation to asset 50, and then you take P&L debit to depreciation 50. तो अब आपको 50,000 you are not going to transfer to P&L. That part which is just because of increase account whole of the amount. But if your depreciation is increased just because of your increase in the value of the asset, then that particular increase, it is also written off against the revaluation surplus. So this is the second use of revaluation surplus. Now what was the first use? First use was, if the asset is declining, then that declining asset, it is set off against your revaluation surplus account. And second use of revaluation surplus is, whenever you are, since surplus is there, it means upward revision is there. So if any increase in depreciation is there due to upward revision, that increase in depreciation, it is also set off against your revaluation surplus. Fine. Okay. And the last thing is, not
Hello,
only this.
hello.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, if the method we are using is WDV method, then how we are incorporating a revaluation surplus in when there is
Yes.
revaluation of asset?
WDV मेथड का क्या है, आपने बुक वैल्यू पे डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ज करना है. सो वट एवर न्यू बुक वैल्यू इज देयर आफ्टर एडिंग योर revalued price upward or downward on the net book value, you are charging WDV. Method has no difference, no. Depreciation, revaluation surplus is simply what is the fair value of your asset as per your value. So accordingly, you are adding it to your book value. Explain it thoroughly, then you can ask the question. Okay. Okay. Now, suppose that particular asset where your surplus is there, that asset is disposed of. So, on the date of disposal, if there is loss, then that loss it is also written off against your revaluation surplus. Now, generally, what you do when there is a loss, you simply transfer it to P&L account. Na? You write by P&L loss on disposal or loss on sale. But since revaluation surplus is there, then this loss will not be transferred to P&L account. Loss on sale, it will be transferred to revaluation surplus account. And whatever surplus is left, that surplus it is transferred to general reserve account. So these are the five general entries which you are going to make. I just in brief I redefine it. What is this revaluation model? Under
Excuse
revaluation
me, ma'am.
model, yes.
Ma'am, if we are selling an asset and if we incurring a loss, then ma'am, all amount of loss will be transferred to revaluation surplus. Or
Yes, all loss will be transferred to revaluation surplus provided to that extent surplus exists. Suppose your loss on, अगर लॉस आपका 60,000 है और सरप्लस
yes,
आपका
ma'am.
40,000 पड़ा हुआ है, तो आप सिर्फ 40,000 ही सेटअप कर सकते हो ना, तो रेस्ट
Yes,
लॉस
ma'am.
विल बी ट्रांसफर टू P&L अकाउंट.
मैम नहीं, मेरा मतलब कि जितना लॉस है सारा ट्रांसफर कर देंगे, उसमें ये ट्रांसफर करेंगे, या फिर जो हमें इंक्रीज इन मतलब रिवैल्यूएशन से जो इंक्रीज इन एसेट हुआ है उससे रिलेटेड जो लॉस है बस उतना ही ट्रांसफर करेंगे, जैसे
नहीं
ऊपर
जितना
डेप्रिसिएशन में करा था हमने.
नहीं जितना लॉस हुआ है, बिकॉज दिस रीवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस इट इज फॉर एंटायर ब्लॉक ऑफ एसेट्स. ठीक है, तो उस
Yes, ma'am.
एंटायर ब्लॉक ऑफ एसेट में से जो भी एसेट आपकी पहले बिक जाती है, वॉट एवर एसेट इज डिस्पोज्ड initially, whatever loss you are having, the entire loss, if suppose loss is 60,000, surplus आपका 70,000 already in books of account, तो आप 60,000 राइट ऑफ कर सकते हो उस सरप्लस में से. entire loss will be transferred to surplus account. And suppose your loss is 60 लेकिन आपका सरप्लस सिर्फ 40,000 पड़ा हुआ है, तो आप 60 लॉस पूरे का पूरा सरप्लस में एडजस्ट नहीं कर पाओगे, तो यू विल बी ट्रांसफरिंग ओनली टू द एक्सटेंट सरप्लस एग्जिस्ट इन द बुक. तो 40,000 का लॉस आपका सरप्लस के अगेंस्ट राइट ऑफ हो जाएगा और रेस्ट ऑफ द लॉस विल बी ट्रांसफर टू योर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. So the point is, depending upon how much surplus is there in your books of account, accordingly your loss will be written off. And after writing the loss, if suppose surplus is there, still You have purchased the machinery for 7 lakh. Payment has to be made in dollars or in pounds since foreign currency loan is taken. It's a obviously the machine will be imported one. That's why you are making a payment in foreign currency. It is to be repayable after 3 years. ठीक है. 17 May you have purchased it for 7 lakh. During 19 and 20, now since your currency exchange rate has gone up, now you have to pay 8,50,000. Now what is the increase in your asset value now? From 7 lakh it has gone up to 850. The increase has happened because of exchange rate fluctuation. It is 1,50,000. So this is your increase in the value of asset. So what you are going to do, since this increase is happening in 1920, so first of all, you will calculate what is the book value in the beginning of 19. So 17, 18, that is 1st April 17 to 31st March 18, and then 1st April 18 to 31st March 19. 2-year depreciation has been charged. Now, what is the rate of depreciation? SLM. So cost initial year 7 lakh minus scrap 0 divided by estimated life 7. 1 lakh is your yearly depreciation. So original cost is 7 lakh less depreciation for 2 year 2 lakh. Net book value on 1/4/2019, this is 5 lakh. Clear to you? Now adding the increase due to revaluation, and this revaluation is happening because of exchange rate fluctuation, 1,50,000. Now what will be your new book value? 5 lakh plus 1,50,000. So your revised unamortized depreciable amount, or you can say your revised book value will be 6,50,000. Okay. Now in this case, your life is not changing. So 6,50,000 is your revised value. Now how many year is the life? 7 year. Now how many year has passed? 2. Out of 7, 2 year has passed. So remaining life is 5 year. So residual useful life of the asset is 5 year. Now your this amortized amount 6,50,000. It is to be allocated over 5 years. So your depreciation now prospectively it will be 6,50,000 divided by 5, 1,30,000. Now this is regarding adding the increase in the value due to revaluation and calculating the
Hello.
depreciation.
Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, can you repeat after 6,50,000?
beta 650 is your book value. ठीक है, after revaluation. Now since the total life of the asset is 7 years, out of 7 years change is coming. This revaluation is happening in 2019 and 20. So 2 year has passed, 17, 18, 18, 19. So out of 7 year 2 year has passed. तो remaining life आपकी कितनी रह गई? 5 year. तो आपका this year depreciation will be 6,50,000 upon 5. This will be your 1,30,000 depreciation.
Ma'am, I want to ask one question. Ma'am, the asset has increased to 8,50,000 from 5 lakh, the book value in the year 1920. Ma'am, so there should be an increase of 3,50,000.
No, Richa, this is not the book value. What he is saying, that he has purchased the machinery for 7 lakh, which is to be paid by a loan. तो आपका 7 lakh का लोन था. Book value is not changing. He is saying कि 7 lakh से now the loan amount is 8,50,000. तो आपको एक्स्ट्रा बर्डन कितना पड़ रहा है? एक्स्ट्रा बर्डन इज 150 ना, इट्स नॉट 350. ठीक है. Suppose if it's simply written during 2019-20 asset is revalued and the revalued price is 8,50,000. In that case your increase is 350. Okay. So the context in which your asset value is going up, that context must be taken into account. And the context here is the loan. तो आपका loan amount बढ़ा है, as a result your value has gone up by 1,50,000. Okay, now the thing is how to record this in the books of account. अब आपका कितना increase हो गया था? 1,50,000. So this increase is posted on the debit side of asset account and credit side of revaluation account. So what will be your entry? Asset account
ma'am?
debit. Yes.
मुझे एक चीज समझ नहीं आ रही, ये तो अमाउंट ऑफ लोन बढ़ा है ना, हमारा कॉस्ट कैसे बढ़ गया इसमें?
आप अपना एसेट की वैल्यू किस पे रिकॉर्ड करते हो? परचेज प्राइस पे ना?
यस मैम।
तो आपका परचेज प्राइस कौन सा होगा? अमाउंट विच यू आर पेइंग या अमाउंट जो आपकी बुक्स में है? आपने 7 लाख का लोन लिया था, ठीक है, बाद में लोन आपको रीपे हो गया 850 का, आपको रीपे करना है, तो आपकी एसेट की वैल्यू 850 होगी या 7 लाख? ओरिजिनल परचेज, ठीक है। तो एसेट अकाउंट डेबिट टू रिवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस अकाउंट 1,50,000, क्लियर। आपने डेप्रिसिएशन कितना चार्ज करा था? डेप्रिसिएशन अकाउंट डेबिट टू एसेट अकाउंट 1,30,000। नाउ आउट ऑफ 1,30,000 आपका वैसे ओरिजिनल डेप्रिसिएशन कितना था? ओरिजिनल डेप्रिसिएशन वाज 1 लाख ना, 7 लाख के ऊपर 7,000 7 इयर्स का 1 लाख पर ईयर। नाउ यू आर चार्जिंग डेप्रिसिएशन 130, so increase in depreciation due to revaluation it will be 30,000. So what we are going to do? Yes.
मैम 5 इयर्स कैसे आया नीचे, मतलब जो आपने बताया था लास्ट स्लाइड में, 5 इयर्स कैसे आया रिमेनिंग यूजफुल लाइफ?
आपका when change is happening, कौन से ईयर में चेंज हो रहा है?
2019-20 में।
एसेट कब बाय करी थी आपने? 17 में।
ओके 17 में, हाँ जी हाँ जी।
ठीक है, लाइफ तो ठीक है, लाइफ तो सेम रहेगी 7 ईयर,
उसमें जो 2 इयर्स ऑलरेडी पास हो चुके हैं।
हाँ, तो 5 ईयर आ गए ना बाकी।
हाँ हाँ जी हाँ, ठीक
है, ओके। नाउ द लास्ट थिंग, 130 डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ज करा है। नॉर्मली यू चार्ज this depreciation to P&L. You simply make this entry P&L account debit to depreciation account 130. This is the normal procedure. But since revaluation surplus exists, so if revaluation surplus exists, then extra depreciation charge. This is the thing. Any increase in depreciation due to upward revision will be transferred to revaluation surplus account. So extra depreciation was 30,000. That 30,000 it is posted on the debit side of revaluation surplus account. Rest 1 lakh it is posted to P&L account and to depreciation account. So this is regarding the treatment of revaluation surplus in the books of account to write off your extra depreciation. And suppose in the later year, suppose you dispose of this asset and some loss on sale happen. That loss on sale, it is also a revaluation surplus 150 है, 30,000 आपने write off करेंगे. How much surplus is there? 120. Now suppose out of 120, आपका in the year of sale 20,000 loss on sale happen. So if there is a loss on sale, what you will be making the entry? That is revaluation surplus debit to loss on sale 20,000. So out of 150, 30,000 depreciation or 20,000 loss on sale deducted. 1 lakh still surplus is there. That 1 lakh, since asset is sold, that 1 lakh will be transferred. You close the
third.
Yes.
मैम थर्ड एंट्री में टू एसेट अकाउंट आएगा, टू या फिर टू डेप्रिसिएशन अकाउंट आएगा?
आप क्या ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो? डेप्रिसिएशन ना
जी।
डेप्रिसिएशन आप कहाँ पे ट्रांसफर करते हो? यू मेक द एंट्री P&L. जस्ट इग्नोर दिस. आप नॉर्मली तो पूरे का पूरा 130 ही P&L में डाल देते हो. But since surplus is there, so there is a rule, if revaluation surplus is there, then extra depreciation कितना था यहाँ पे? 130 न्यू डेप्रिसिएशन और ओल्ड डेप्रिसिएशन का आपका 1 लाख, तो 30,000 एक्स्ट्रा डेप्रिसिएशन का. That extra depreciation it is transferred to your surplus account. and rest will be transferred to your P&L account. Clear? So this is regarding your use of revaluation surplus to write off extra depreciation, to write off loss, and whatever balance will be left after selling the asset.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, if a company is revaluing its assets every year, then they will also charge a depreciation on their asset.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, why?
Beta.
मैम क्योंकि फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में एसेट को दिखाने के लिए एसेट को फेयर वैल्यू पे दिखाने के लिए डेप्रिसिएशन लगाते हैं. अब हम डेप्रिसिएशन नहीं लगाएंगे, रिवैल्यूएशन करेंगे, तो दोनों केस में फेयर वैल्यू पे आ रही है. यस मैम.
डेप्रिसिएशन क्या है? Since you are using the asset for production purposes, ठीक है, then
Yes, ma'am.
accordingly you are charging the depreciation since benefit you are deriving out of it. That is the basic objective of charging depreciation. Objective of revaluing the asset is different. Objective of revaluation is जो method आप follow कर रहे हो, actually it is showing the true value of your asset. तो आपने जब depreciation charge कर लिया, आपकी asset की book value आ गई, and then that book value it is compared with the fair value. तो accordingly आप book value को adjust कर दो. So whatever book value you will be having, now the new book value will be used for getting the benefit, for charging the depreciation. So दोनों के objectives are entirely different. Depreciation is you are using the asset, you are charging the depreciation. And revaluation का मतलब है कि आपने जो book value as per your depreciation method find out करी है, is it showing the fair value or not? ठीक है, that is done by the revalue. Depreciation charge, it is done by the organization. One is internal policy charging the depreciation, other is external valuation by the revalue, and both things are used simultaneously by the big manufacturing concern.
ओके मैम. मैम कंपनी प्रेजेंट टाइम में कंपनी कॉस्ट मॉडल फॉलो करती है फिर रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल?
देखिए, let me tell you the reality. Most of the concern they follow cost model because it's very easy. ठीक है, क्योंकि रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल में डबल आपका वैल्यू डबल हो जाता है. एक बार बुक वैल्यू निकालते हो फिर उसको रीवैल्यू करते हो. तो द कंपनीज व्हिच आर हैविंग हाई टर्नओवर and where suppose on routine basis auditors are coming and they are auditing the books of account. जैसे बड़े बड़े auditors हैं, प्राइस वाटर हाउस है, KPMG है, they are going and they are doing the audit of a big conglomerates. Only those companies, multinational companies, they are using this revaluation model as per AS10. But small concern, they don't, I think उनको पता भी नहीं होगा कि दिस मॉडल एग्जिस्ट. तो most of the concern where the turnover is less and simple routine audit work is happening, they generally don't follow. But big companies, they are following this model. ठीक है, because this AS10 is a new introduction, तो अभी इसको अप्लाई होने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. It has become applicable, but
जिस टाइम पे सेल होती है उसी टाइम पर रिवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस को हम जनरल रिजर्व में ट्रांसफर करेंगे, है ना?
यस.
सेकंड चीज ये पूछनी थी कि ये जो हमारा क्वेश्चन है ये हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट मॉडल वाला है या रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल वाला हमने किया है जिसमें लोन वाला?
बताओ, ये रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल है, कॉस्ट आप रिवैल्यू कर रहे हो ना उसको, तो रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल ही है ना.
कॉस्ट नहीं चेंज हो रही, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगे कि ये कॉस्ट मॉडल है.
देखिए, रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल क्या है? जिसके अंदर हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट चेंज हो जाती है, दैट इज योर रिवैल्यूएशन मॉडल.
और कॉस्ट मॉडल फिर क्या है?
कॉस्ट सिंपल है, उसमें कुछ नहीं करना, उसमें बस एवरी ईयर कॉस्ट माइनस डेप्रिसिएशन बुक वैल्यू आप लिखते जाते हो. यू डोंट टेक इनटू अकाउंट द रीवैल्यूड अमाउंट. आप इसमें उसको रीवैल्यू करते ही नहीं हो, वेदर योर
अच्छा।
एक्सचेंज रेट इज हैपनिंग और आपका कोई ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हो रहा है।
ठीक
ठीक
है।
है।
और एक और मैम बोली कि जैसे बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स इकट्ठे इकट्ठे आ रहे हैं तो थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन माइंड में हो रहा है, इसलिए आप कुछ प्रैक्टिस के लिए सम्स या हमें मतलब बता सकते हो कि जैसे अब बुक भी मेरे पास मैंने ले ली है, तो आप ये
हाँ
बता सकते हो कि यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ तक क्वेश्चंस हम सॉल्व कर लें ताकि वो एक
देखिए,
जो टॉपिक है क्लियर हो जाए।
ठीक है, if you just go and check the book now, you will find these thing in the example, and this particular question it is also given in example also, ये revelation surplus वाला revelation model, just check the book, you will get to know कि कौन से questions करने हैं। otherwise मैं WhatsApp पे पोस्ट कर दूंगी, आप एक बार करके देखो, क्योंकि ये कॉन्सेप्ट वाइज कंसेप्चुअली इट शुड बी क्लियर टू यू। बुक्स के अंदर ये आपके सिर्फ मेरे ख्याल में 2-3 क्वेश्चन ही गिवन है रिवोल्यूशन मॉडल के, बाकी सारे आपके पहले वाले हैं। ठीक है, तो मैं ऐसे पोस्ट कर दूंगी अगर कोई है तो। अदरवाइज जस्ट गो थ्रू द बुक, उसके एग्जांपल्स और जो बैक एक्सरसाइज है, नाउ यू कैन डू ईच एंड एवरी क्वेश्चन ऑन डेप्रिसिएशन अकाउंटिंग। ठीक है, for any query you can just post it on your WhatsApp group, so I will explain the queries there only। ठीक है, तो
मैम कैन आई आस्क अ क्वेश्चन?
जो एक मिनट, जो क्वेश्चंस आपके बुक में हैं बियॉन्ड दैट नथिंग इज गोइंग टू कम। ठीक है, तो यू कैन जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस PPT once again for any clarification। it is available for 1 week now, after 1 week it get deleted automatically। और बाकी क्वेरीज आप मुझसे व्हाट्सएप पे पूछ लेना। हाँ जी, बोलो आपको क्या पूछना है, लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
यस मैम। मैम अगर हम बहुत सारी मशीनरी हैं, अगर उनमें से एक मशीन बेच रहे हैं तो उस मशीन पे जो लॉस होगा उसे तो हम रिवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस में ट्रांसफर कर देंगे और बाकी का रिवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस हम जनरल रिजर्व में ट्रांसफर कर देंगे।
हाँ
और मैम
जी,
जो अगर हम जो बची हुई बाकी की मशीनरी हैं उन्हें जब बेचेंगे उनकी जो लॉस होगा फिर उसे कहाँ ट्रांसफर करेंगे, उन्हें प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस
आप
अकाउंट?
हाँ, उसको तो नॉर्मल प्रोसीजर लोगे, लेकिन अगली बार आप बाकी बची हुई एसेट्स को भी तो रिवैल्यू करोगे।
अच्छा, यस मैम।
सेम प्रोसीजर तो बाकी अनसोल्ड एसेट्स का भी होगा ना, तो अगेन
यस
द
मैम।
सेम थिंग विल हैपन, सरप्लस मे बी क्रिएटेड व्हिच कैन बी यूज्ड। ठीक है, ओके।
मैम ये जो रिवैल्यूएशन सरप्लस है ये ईयर के एंड में मतलब बैलेंस शीट में रहता है, फिर इसे ट्रांसफर कर दिया जाता है ईयर के एंड में जनरल रिजर्व में?
जनरल रिजर्व में तभी ट्रांसफर करते हो जब व्हेन यू आर सेलिंग द एसेट। ठीक है, आफ्टर
ओके
द
मैम।
डिस्पोजल ऑफ द एसेट देन इट इज ट्रांसफर। till the
ओके
asset
मैम।
is till the asset is not disposed, it remains in the accounts। Okay, so
ओके
now I think I am leaving the lecture now, so just go through the questions because you can attempt all the questions। Okay, so
ओके, थैंक यू
stop
मैम।
sharing the screen। Okay, thank you all।
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, I'm leaving the audio।